Okay, Lowe's 390, customer Timberlake. Let me show you around this house. Basically, I want to show you the ceiling has coffered ceilings with the bead panel insert. Look over here, we've got some Craftsman style bead panel insert cabinets on the far wall there. Very traditional build house, shaker style moldings on everything. Casement on the side here, all of that. Got to shake the actual soffit above the top of that. Here on the bottom, this is a laminate countertops, dishwasher to the right, a large open space here on the end. We'll get back to that in just a minute. Walk around the back here so you can see the end of the island. The island has actually got a back row of cabinets. Again, the shaker style standard overlay. Take a look at that. Standard overlay doors and all this on the other pieces. So one of the things that we talked about today was full overlay versus standard overlay. And that being said, these are frameless cabinets. Of course, frameless are for sure, full overlay. But if you take a look, they actually have cheated these down from the top by 3/4 just to keep the edges of your doors from rubbing the surface of the soffit. They've also put a nice, complimentary, I guess, you have to be there, bottom piece of light rail on here. Well, what's happening is this is only like 15.5 inches off the countertop now, and her Keurig and some of her other appliances won't even fit under there. So we talked about standard overlay on the cabinets for a very good reason. Right here, this molding's 3/4 inch thick, 3/4 inch thick on the sides. They've left a 6-inch filler here, 6 inches, and 6 inches down here on the bottom. I'm not sure, maybe it's just because that's all the sizes that they had whenever they did these, but basically this is 45 inches of space here along the base, and we're going to be able to use 42 of it if it was actually full overlay. We'd be able to use all 45 inches if it was standard overlay. Same thing up here. If it's standard overlay, we get 45 inches worth of cabinet up here. And besides that, we could also do some type of a small soffit crown molding above that to give it some kind of a look to the top instead of just smooth like it is now. There's a heavy use of this type of molding. See right there? Heavy use of this type of molding in the room. And so for this tie-in to look right on the cabinets, I think that would be a really good change in the way we're designing this. Now, if your vendor doesn't offer a standard overlay shaker, you might need to look at Craftmade or Diamond or someone else to see what's available, but there should be someone out there. Now, one thing to notice, see these key rings and stuff here at the end of the run? One of the videos I showed her today was a 3-inch wide cabinet that's an information or message center. I believe that's from Craftmade or Diamond. She does like the idea of that. She doesn't like this cluttered here on the end, especially with her new cabinets. She wanted to see that finished door on the end. But also, if you do a cabinet that's turned sideways, make sure you order a 3-inch filler overlay for the front of it so that the front of it doesn't look plain. Also, flush finished end, if that's going to go on the end, turned to the side. Now, down here on the bottom, you'll notice that this is, the soffit up here on the top, this is 100 inches, but your wall length is like 107 to the side of that molding. Well, there's 7 inches of margin right here is why. So when we start looking at the actual cabinets, this is 16 inches deep to the front of the soffit edge. These are only 12. So a 14-inch deep cabinet will fit in here with no issues. Same thing here. Your microwave is 14 inches to the edge of the door right there. No problem as being able to put a 14-inch deep cabinet. So that's the other upgrade for this wall. We talked about doing increased depth cabinets for all of these cabinets here so that we don't have just a 12-inch deep. We actually get that extra room that the soffit allows us to have there. Now, down here on the bottom, the center line of the stove plug is only 2.5 inches, right in here, 2.5 inches from the edge of that 45-inch. About 47 is where that center line is. So we can't move this any further that way. We can't move anything to the left at all. It has to be inside of 45 inches for the stove to work correctly. Now, if we want to go 43 inches, like a 1-inch filler against the wall and a 1-inch, and we do full overlay door, then we do have the room to move this to the right, but then we have to make sure that we stay inside of 100 inches, which is going to be like 99, inches of cabinet box plus, 1 inch is 100. So we have to make sure that we stay inside of that with our upper cabinet alignment. Come over here on this side. One of the things we talked about doing was putting a pantry here, like a 30-inch pantry. Make sure that we have that 2 inches or so, or 1 inch of filler against that left-hand wall. Again, we've got the 3/4 inch 1-bys that are right here on the side. On the floor vent right here, the floor vent, if you look straight down, is only like 1 inch inside the doors. Now these are thermofoil doors, which are a plastic coating. They wouldn't have any problems at all with the hot and the cold from season to season. But when you're starting to look at replacing the floor and getting new floor, they need to move this vent out away at least 4 inches, 5 inches in front of the cabinet. If not, over here to the corner would be better. Jump from one stud cavity maybe to another joist cavity over here. But we need to at least 5 inches in front of the cabinet, which is 29 to 30 inches off the wall. That is something we need to change so we don't have problems. This is going to be some really tall doors here for the pantry. They're going to be really prone to warping and having some movement in them with that much heat and that much cold. Now you've got a receptacle back here that can just come back through the back of the cabinet. No problem with it. Just put some child caps in it if we need to be able to use that receptacle. But there was 18 inches left on this wall as far as just extra room. And even though we're looking at the upper cabinet line, this molding, again, that's 16 inches deep. The molding on this would actually be only 1. You could do this as a 14-inch deep cabinet as well. Now the 24-inch deep cabinet is definitely going to come out from underneath the soffit, right? It's going to come out from underneath the soffit. That's why a small molding, a small 1-inch soffit crown molding would look nice, because it would help carry that line out and back across. And again, you can see here, this is 24 inches depth. This molding here where the door trim is actually, I think, 23 3/4. Let me double check that. Yeah, 23.5 inches. So we do need that filler there so that we can actually put that into the side of that molding. But then your molding up top would actually just transition right in the face of it. Be nice and clean. No problem there at all. Now we had the center line of the sink base. I think it was 83 inches or something. It's actually 74 inches to the center of this sink base. 36-inch sink base, drawer base 24, 30-inch pantry, 2-inch filler, something like that on the left, 24-inch dishwasher, base 12, and then the base in open shelf, right, 12-inch. Should bring you out to like 145 or so, 146. Well, this is 144 to the back of this molding right here. We may end up having to cut into this molding slightly to get that 146 we need, but it wouldn't be out of place. It would look fine, especially with the countertop being able to cut into the same length. The wall itself, though, is a little bit longer. I think it was 148 and some odd inches, so look at your drawing for that one. But we do not want to go anywhere near the end of the wall. And where we're at, close to 144, 146, that's where we need to stay at as far as our overall length. Now, underneath the sink base, there is no back to this cabinet. So you can actually see all the raw sheetrock and everything. All of our cabinets will have backs in them, so that will clean that up quite a bit. And you can see all the plumbing comes out of the wall, so that's also an advantage. So no problem there, but they did have a water leak at one time. So underneath this cabinet, if there's any kind of damaged floors or anything, they need to be repaired before you put your new flooring in and your new cabinets in. Pretty much, I think that's it. If you have any questions on this kitchen, feel free to give me a call at 423-650-1051. Have a good day.